Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 3 of the 12 tech tips of Christmas for 2024 from Evolve EdTech. My name is Tristan, and it is wonderful to see you again today. If you are new to the 12 tech tips of Christmas for 2024, welcome. If you haven't checked out day 1 and 2, I highly encourage you to head over to the Evolve EdTech YouTube channel or head over to our social channels so that you can catch up on the amazing 2 episodes that we've had as part of this series so far. And whilst you are there, we would love it if you headed over to the Evolve EdTech YouTube channel, you gave this video a big thumbs up, and you subscribe to this channel because that support will mean so much to us to continue to motivate us to share our love and knowledge of EdTech with you. Anyway, we have another cracker of an episode for day 3 of the 12 tech tips of Christmas. Today, we are staying in the Google ecosphere again. We have looked at this for the past couple of episodes, and today we're heading into Google Drive Town. So, we're going to have a look at some of the really intricate ways that you can make Google Drive even more effective and efficient if you are using that as your cloud storage device. So we're going to head over to the Evolve EdTech Google Drive account, and you're going to have a look at what my Google Drive account looks like. I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks that you might be able to go and use in your own Google Drive account today. So let's head over to Google Drive. I'm just going to change my screen right now, and then we'll get started with some tips and tricks. All right, so I'm now in the Evolve EdTech Google Drive account here. There's nothing here that is sensitive or nothing here that is out of this world. If you see something, this is just where we do all our planning, and this is where we store all the resources and all those wonderful things that we create for you to support you with your EdTech journeys. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you some really great ways that you can make Google Drive even more efficient and some different kind of settings or tools that you may not be aware of that you might like to implement. All right, so at the moment, I am in my drive just here, and you can see that I have a whole heap of folders that I have created with all of my different resources and planning documents in there. I've got some random files sitting down the bottom here that I need to sort out. But one really great tip that I have for using Google Drive is when it comes to creating our folders is, did you know that we can actually change the colors? So at the moment we have this default kind of gray color here. We can actually change the colors of these folders. Now this might come in really handy if you are teaching multiple subjects or grades, or you just want to be able to differentiate the folders much quicker than you have in the past. So to change the color of our folders, all we do is head over to our folder. We just hover over it. We right click on our mouse, and then you'll see that we have some options here. So we're going to scroll down to organize. All right. So you can see here straight away that we have the ability to move this folder. So if you want to move an entire folder somewhere else, we can do that. We can also add a shortcut. We can star this folder. I'm going to show you a little bit about that later, but this is the part we're looking for. We can actually change the color of this folder so that maybe we can find it, or maybe it's a particular color we use for a particular year group or subject. So in my own school personal Google Drive account, each of our year groups in year 7, 8, 9, and 10 have a specific color that we use so that we know that that is a year 10 program, etc. So in my Google Drive, I have set up my year group folders with those particular colors so that I can differentiate those really quickly and really simply. So there is one really simple way to change and elevate your Google Drive account. So giving your folders a different color so that you are able to find them really quickly. All right, another quick tip when it comes to naming folders. So if I just click on here and I just go down here to rename, if I would like a folder to appear, say, at the top of my list rather than in alphabetical order as they are appearing now, a couple of really great ways that we can use this. Okay, we can number them. So we might go 1, for example, and that will be folder 1. We could also use the hashtag symbol, which will elevate that particular folder to the top. So if I go down here to, let's say, the Evolve EdTech website, I'm going to rename this now. I'm going to put the hashtag in there, and you will see that it has now been moved up to the top just under my administration and planning. So it still does use the alphabetical order up here, but you can see that it has now been moved up the top so that it is easy to access. Another really quick and cool way to elevate and make your folders a little bit more engaging and interesting is that you can also insert emojis. So if I head over to a new browser and I'm going to go to one of my favorite sites, Emojipedia, and let's say here I'm going to grab this Christmas tree because this is the 12 tech tips of Christmas. So I'm going to grab that Christmas tree. I have just copied that. I'm going to head back to my drive now. There we go. And there's my Christmas tree. So you can also use emojis to kind of make your folders a little bit more visually appealing. So if you're using a folder with your colleagues when it comes to your faculty planning, you might pop some emojis in there just so that it's easier to find something specific. So far, I've showed you how to change the colors of folders, how we can make our folders appear at the top of our list of folders by default and not just in alphabetical order, and how we can add emojis to the names of our folders just to make them a little bit more interesting and engaging. So there's 3 tips already on how we can make our Google Drive even a little bit more interesting, engaging. All right, let's go and have a look at a couple more right now. I'm going to head over here to the right hand side and I'm going to have a look at these 2 buttons here. So at the moment, you can see that my Google Drive here is in a list format. This is my preferred option when it comes to displaying my folders and my files in my Google Drive account. But you will also notice here just to the right that we have the option to select a grid layout. So if you would prefer a grid style layout of your folders and some of those documents, this might be the layout that you select here. So that is what the grid layout looks like. And this is what the list layout looks like. This is my preferred way of presenting and maintaining the information in my Google Drive account, but that is completely up to you. So there's another really cool quick tip. All right, you will see here that we have some options here so that we can obviously sort our information. We can sort our documents by, say, a particular Google Doc, or we might be just looking for presentations. If you're looking for a particular Google Workspace item, you can do that by changing and selecting what particular type of document that you are looking for. You can do the same with people here, and you can have a look at when a document was recently modified. So rather than searching through potentially thousands of things, you might go, I know that I fixed this document up in the last 7 days. So we can change that filter and see what has been edited in the last 7 days there. So you can see that I have been looking at some of my planning documents in the last week, and they are all appearing just there for me. All right, another really cool element of Google Drive that you may not have used is our workspaces. So just over here on the left-hand side, under Home and Activity, you will find Workspaces. Now, this is where we're able to create really specific personal workspaces of files that we are constantly or regularly using. So in my own personal Google Drive account for my school, I have a workspace where I have my teacher diary. So I've done away with the old school paper diary, and I now have a planning document that I have created that I have for each term and each class, and it's very detailed and contains all my Google Slides links and all the different resources that I'm using with my students. So I've created my own Google Workspace account with those 4 terms worth of planning documents so that it's easy to find. So to create a workspace, you just head to Workspaces, you click on Create Workspace, you name your workspace. So I might call this one Evolve EdTech Planning because I do a lot of planning behind the scenes. And now what I can do is I can select up to 25 files that I might regularly use that will all be located in this workspace. So I'll be able to jump into this workspace, find those particular Google Sheets documents, for example, and work on those without having to go and find them. So, Workspaces is just about creating workspaces with documents that you are using regularly so that it's easier to access those. So, we can go here and we can select these two, for example. I can pop those in, press done, and then I have that workspace available for me containing those particular Google Sheets documents that I might need to access really quickly and really regularly. So, Workspaces is another really simple way to elevate and make your use of Google Drive much more efficient. All right, okay, I'm going to head back to my drive now, and I'm going to show you something that is really useful if there are documents that you are using regularly and you don't necessarily want to create a Google Workspace, but you want to be able to find them if you need them and when you need them. So, what we can do is if I just hover down here, let's go to this 15 ways to use podcast episode ideas Google Docs document. What I can do here is I can just right click on this document. And what I'm going to do is come down to organize and I'm going to star this particular document. All right. So I'm going to press add to start. So you will now see next to the document that I have a little star symbol here to tell me that this document is starred. But let's say that I have lots of documents. Maybe they're templates, or maybe they're learning plans, or maybe information that I regularly access. And I've starred them. All I do is come over here to the left hand side and I scroll down here to start. I'm going to click here, and this is where you will find all of those documents that you have starred. Okay, so it is a really great way if there are particular documents that you are regularly needing to access or use, you might star them so that they're easier to find and easier to access. So that is another really cool, quick tip to help you get the most out of Google Drive. There are so many other tips that I could share with you, but this will go on forever and ever. But there we go. I've given you a couple of really quick tips so that you can start to see what you can do with Google Drive. So we've started off with changing the color of our folders. We've showed you how you can do that. We've shown you how you can make sure that particular folders that you might need regularly are located at the top of your list of folders rather than just sorting them alphabetically. We've showed you how you can add emojis to your folder names to elevate them and really make them visually appealing and attractive. We've shown you the different layout options that are available in Google Drive with your list view and column view. We've also shown you Google Workspaces and how you can create a workspace for some of those documents that you might need to regularly access or use within your own teaching and learning programs. And finally, we've showed you how to star documents and where to find them so that you can really quickly access that information and those documents super fast. There we go. That's just a handful of tips that really could make your use of Google Drive even more efficient and effective. Google Drive, there is so much you can do with it. It's a wonderful tool to have in your EdTech toolkit as a teacher. All right, there we go. That brings us to the end of episode number 3 of the 12 Tech Tips of Christmas for 2024. Thank you so much for joining us today. Don't forget to check out the previous 2 episodes on the Evolve EdTech YouTube channel or check out the Evolve EdTech social channels to catch up on those. Anyway, we will be back tomorrow with day 4 of the 12 tech tips of Christmas for 2024. Thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait to see you again tomorrow for another wonderful EdTech tip, trick, or tool to help you become an even better educator. Until then, everybody, stay safe.